to today's webinar. My name is Pritish, and I'm going to walk you through this very interesting topic and a new product that we are releasing in the market. This is about using virtual career fairs with Microsoft Teams. Again, thank you for taking the time to join today. So today we're going to show you how Teams can help you and your organizations drive digital transformation on career fairs. We are very excited to share this information around the platform, its capabilities and features, and how you could use this to conduct amazing virtual career fairs. Microsoft Teams, as you might know, is where people come together for on a digital forum to have conversations, to create content, to work on plans, and everything is integrated in one unified experience. It helps to facilitate real-time conversations and also collaboration. So this is a great tool, and we've been working with Microsoft for a very long time. As a company, we have a history of developing solutions using Microsoft technologies for 25 plus years. We are also a Microsoft Gold partner, and we are part of the Microsoft for Startups and Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk over the agenda for today's webinar. I'm also going to stop my video. That way you could see the whole presentation. Okay, perfect. So let's get started. So today we will be discussing about the current scenario in career fairs. And also then we will talk about Microsoft Teams, how we are using this technology to solve the problem that the market is facing, and how Cynaptx, in conjunction with the Microsoft Teams, is delivering this new solution that will help solve many of your problems. We'll also talk about the workflows, career fair workflow, and how it is extensible and customizable. And then I'm going to show you a demo of this solution. And then we're going to talk about next steps. So with that, let me go to the next slide and talk about the problem. So this is what used to happen. As you can see, I mean, this is a picture of a career fair where students are interacting with recruiters. This is organized by a university. And this used to be the main recruiting event. It used to be a key pillar of college hiring. So career fairs are forums where students and employers would gather and interact with each other. And this would create career opportunities for students, and for employers, they will be getting new employees. This used to happen in person, and I mean, there would be a short conversation between student and recruiters. They would introduce themselves. Student will talk about their background, their education history, their work experience. They may share their resume. Employers will talk about any job opportunities that may have and make that connection. So this used to be a very useful event, but now all of this is going online. And this has I mean, in spring 2020, many colleges and universities had a big disruption because of this. This event cannot happen in person. Recruiters cannot travel. Students are remote. So this trend is going to continue in the next semester as well, in the fall season, and a lot of this may gonna remain this way in the coming years. Once technology catches up to support this kind of interaction, a lot of this may happen virtually in future because it's much safer, it's efficient, and it's also less expensive. So as long as the problems are solved, this can be a very good solution. So how are we solving this problem with Microsoft Teams? Let me give you a brief intro on Teams. Some of you might already be using Teams in your organization. But for people who have not used Teams before, it's a collaboration platform from Microsoft. This is a place where you can communicate, have chats, video calls, meetings with your peers, your colleagues, and you can collaborate with them. And this this connects natively with Microsoft Office suite. So things like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Teams connects all of them together. This is a enterprise grade platform and is highly secure and highly manageable by your admins. One thing that it allows is for companies like us is to extend its technological capacities. So it is extensible. And that is what we have used to extend it to support virtual career fairs. This platform that we have built to support virtual career fairs will allow you to run career fairs and connect this with other activities that you are having in your other systems. So without changing context, you could still continue to run career fairs. So for example, if you want to have discussions around jobs or have some information session about some company that is in your career services system, Teams can bring all of that and you can have all the interaction on Teams platform because it is so extensible, and that's what we are doing with it. Teams is very popular among students. I mean, it is free for most people, and it's also very popular among organizations. So companies use Teams, so they are already there. They are comfortable with the platform. And so it's a very natural next step for them to have one more channel there, which they can use to interact with your college to join your career fair. So this solution is tailor-made for virtual career fairs, and we'll see all that today. Microsoft Teams is the fastest growing business app in Microsoft's history. So it's been there for just a few years. It's very modern. It's been used by 13 million people every day. 500,000 companies are running on Teams, and 91% of all Fortune 100 companies also use Teams in-house. So it's very efficient, very scalable, and it's been proven to be very successful with most of the large corporations already using this. So why did we decide to build our solution on Teams? We could have done this anywhere else, or we could have built our own solution. But I mean, we wanted to use the best that's out there in the world. Microsoft Teams is modern. It has excellent desktop and mobile application. It's one communication hub, which can become the communication hub for all your recruiters, all the event organizers, career services staff members, and your students who would be joining the fair. And all the collaboration can happen on Teams. You don't need to go anywhere else. It can also, there's a lot of automation that can be done. Microsoft Teams is extremely powerful. You can have custom workflows. So for example, if a recruiter is interacting with a student can share their resume right in the chat. The company rep can share the jobs that they may have open, and student can apply right there using their resume. So it's very automated. I mean, they don't need to go around and look for things in multiple places. Also, there could be bots. So there could be channels where you could have all your students come and ask questions before the fair. Maybe a week before the fair, you can have them come there, ask questions or post their questions, and you could answer them. Or you could have bots there who could answer those questions. Microsoft Teams is extremely secure, and the availability is guaranteed. It runs on world's #1 cloud, Microsoft Azure. And I mean, as I was saying, so many organizations and government agencies use this. So you don't have to worry about any of those issues. And you can get reports on Power BI. Power BI is world's #1 reporting tool, and that connects seamlessly to Teams. So all the interaction that you have there with the fair can be seen on Power BI. Again, it's expandable. So in future, if you see there is a need, this can be expanded to support multiple use cases. So this is a platform that you can invest for future. So as your career fair evolves, this can support that. You don't have to work it the other way around, where you have to keep your processes as per the tool. The tool can evolve for you. So what is the solution? So we have taken the best of the worlds. If you see, Microsoft Teams is where we're going to have the collaboration hub. That's where the group meetings and one-on-one meetings will happen. Cynaptx is the system where where organizers, yourself, career services team members would be setting up the event, the career fair event, booth management, payment systems, scheduling, setting up of group sessions, one-on-one meetings, monitoring and managing student registrations or recruiter registrations. And then all of this connects right to Microsoft products, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So if you use SharePoint, any of these, you could get all that information in both the systems. Cynaptx Microsoft Teams run on Microsoft Azure, and all that is highly scalable, highly guaranteed. So what makes Team your #1 choice for virtual career fair? First of all, it's effortless discovery. Most students and employers would already be familiar with Teams. It's not a brand new thing. You don't have to introduce this as something that they have never seen before. It's very intuitive because the adoption has been phenomenal. I mean, if you have seen the news in the last 6 months, 700% increase in the usage of Team worldwide. So bring this career fair service to where your users are. They're already on Teams. So this additional thing will help them run, manage, join career fairs, right? You should use Teams for greater innovation. So any engagement that you are doing today, Microsoft Teams is, again, the best communication tool out there, and it's been trusted by ER rooms, first responders during COVID crisis. So there's a lot of innovation happening nowadays to support those many teams. So we are bringing that innovation to higher ed in virtual career fair area using the Teams technology. Again, it's low cost. So Microsoft Teams, most features are free, and the premium ones might already be covered with your Office 365 license. I mean, many of you would be using Outlook and Word in your institutions, which is already part of the Office 365 license. So there are some additional capabilities that you can use, like live events. You can run events for 10,000 people. That's a enterprise capability which comes with Office 365 license. You could use all of that. Plus, you don't have to switch. Spend money on the switching cost, and the overall operating cost of the fair will be low because the technology, the underlying technology, is free for most part. That way, you could focus on higher value activities. You don't have to worry about scalability, tech support, any of that. This will run very smoothly once you set it up. It's a world-class app, and it's built for use everywhere. So you don't have to worry about any of these things. It will run on Windows, Mac, web, Android, iOS, all platforms. This solution will solve your challenges. So the biggest challenge that you have is the communication is all over. It's in email, it's in chat, it's in Zoom, WebEx, or phone. This is where, when you are running a career fair, you do things across various tools. You get lost in those platforms. Again, your files are in many places. Company details may be somewhere, jobs may be posted somewhere, student resume may be somewhere else. And then you will be sharing that with students or employers. That goes out of context. There are multiple systems. Then you have to use marketing tools for invitations, follow-ups, surveys, managing registrations, seeing who opened email. All those are big problems. And most of these platforms are not truly virtual. They are not built for the modern age like what Teams is built for. And then again, you have limited visibility and reporting. With Teams, this becomes a solution and a hub for all the collaboration and networking so that you can take decisions faster and rely on security and compliance. And this is what we'll show in the demo today, how you will have a tailored virtual career fair workspace in Teams. So what do I mean when I'm saying it's future-proof? Again, Teams have all these features. You can add new tabs in there. So tabs are places where you could have specific information. Maybe you want to have a wiki there, an article, or some information in Teams when the event is going on. You could do that. You could have bots there. So if students are running into issues or employees are running into issues, common questions, you could have a bot answer those questions. So it helps you to scale up. Messaging extensions, you could use many UI user interface things in there, like cards and other interactive things that can make the interaction between your students and employers pretty rich. And then this can be, again, rich. So information can be coming from your career services system. It could come where your jobs and employers are. It could come from Cynaptx if you are using Cynaptx for career services system. And then you can see activity for all the job feeds. All this is possible because of the underlying technology, Microsoft Graph, Microsoft AI, and it helps in relationship building. So that's how it is. And how do we stand against other vendors in the market? So this is a no restriction platform. Microsoft Teams is not restricted. It's the #1 collaboration tool used by millions daily. You can chat, meet, call, collaborate from anywhere. It connects seamlessly with Outlook, PowerPoint, SharePoint, calendars, any of the other Microsoft tools, plus your CSM tool or Cynaptx, where you could post jobs. Students can have their resumes uploaded and reviewed. This allows for easy scheduling of your events, booth management. You could monitor registrations, and then you can have secure experience on high quality audio, video, and screen sharing. Others have limitations on how many career fairs you can run, limitations on the duration of the fair, limitations of how many sessions can be there because the technology is limited. And then there are challenges with availability and scalability. Plus, if you need to connect that with other systems, you need to bring in IT because it's not natively connecting to Microsoft tools. This would connect with your SharePoint, your OneDrive, Outlook, calendar, everything will be in sync. So the learning curve is there for others. People have to get used to that new platform. In this case, you just need to know Teams. So this is a workflow of the demo that I'm going to show you today. We will set up a virtual career fair. So we'll set up basic stuff like event info. I'll set up a few booths. We'll connect it to a payment gateway. We'll invite employers. We'll invite students. And then we'll see the registrations coming in. So employers who get those invitations, they will accept those invitations. They will sign up. They will make the payments. Then students will also they will also get the invitations. They will look at the event, they will sign up, and then it will show up in their scheduled events. They could go browse the event. They can register for group meetings and one-on-one meetings. Group meetings are basically like company presentation or information sessions. So if a company like Microsoft is coming to this career fair, they would have a group meeting where maybe all 500 of your students may come and hear them out. Microsoft may do a video presentation, PowerPoint presentation, may share information about the jobs they might have open for your students. And then one-on-one is like a 10 or 15 minutes engagement between the recruiter of that company and student. So there is a scheduling technology, and I'll show you that, how students can request that and employers can conduct that. And then all of this is measured. And you could, in fact, after the event, you could conduct surveys from Cynaptx. You could set up follow-up activities and perform analytics on all of this. So this will help you in improving the experience for the next time. So with that, in the demo, we're gonna take you to Hogwarts, where all the magic happens. And the career service staff members is gonna be Albus Dumbledore. And our student for today is Ron Weasley. And the recruiter would be Rubius Hagrid from Witchcraft and Wizardry United. It's a company that recruits at Hogwarts. So with that, let me switch over to the demo. Okay, so let me just show you a little bit about Cynaptx before we get into that. So this is where as a staff member, so Albus Dumbledore is logged into the system. This is where all your students are. So, I mean, if you do not have a career services system, you could use this and have all your students in here. If you use something, then you could bring them over here. If you use Salesforce or any other system, right? I mean, this can connect very easily to external systems, and all your students can show up in here. This is your student management piece. So for example, Ron Weasley, you could look at his profile, education, certifications, courses, everything, right? It's a web profile and all the actions are here. The count, number of jobs applied, events, a resume in the system, approved resume. There is a activity stream, you could add notes. So basic stuff, right? I mean, that you would expect to do with your students and alums. The other piece I wanted to show is organizations. This is where your companies are located. It's like a CRM where you're keeping a database of your employer partners. And again, this is all very user-friendly, so very interactive. You could have featured employers. You can decide to make employers as featured employers. So you could mark them as favorite. You can do a lot of things. And I mean, it's very detailed, right? I mean, you can have branches there. You can connect it with external system, have additional data in here. I mean, there are other things that we have done to get clean data about your organizations. So for example, if I know that Walmart comes and recruit, and I'm based in Dallas, I can just do a quick search and I can see all Walmart in Dallas that are there. And I can add that in my system. And this is all verified corporate data. So for example, let me just pick this one. So this would get all the information about this organization, pre-filled, perfected information. So your database is pretty clean. And then you have recruiters linked with those organizations and all that good stuff, which you will use to invite them for career fair. So now let's go to events. Let me go to events. Okay, so now I'm in the events page. I'm going to create a new event. This is how I'm going to create a new virtual career fair. So when I create a new event, it will ask me for basic stuff. There's 4 steps: event info, location of the event, attendee info, and payment. So I'm going to fill event name, event type, contact person for this event, and event description. Contact person is somebody who is responsible for this event in your team. It's a type of virtual career fair, so I'm going to fill that. And virtual career fair, I'm creating this spring career fair 2021, and I'm going to do next. So it will ask me if it's a virtual fair or a physical fair. Now, if it's a virtual fair, is it going to run on Cynaptx or some other platform? I'm going to use, this will be run on Cynaptx. That's where it's going to use Teams. And I can give an event start date, event end date, and a time zone. Again, this is all in March next year. It's a 3-day event running on Cynaptx using Microsoft Teams. Now I'm in the attendees section. It will ask me a bunch of information about employers and about students. So this is where I'm setting who I want to invite to this fair, right? I mean, it may be an engineering fair. Maybe I just want to invite a group of engineering employers, or maybe it's a science fair. I want to just invite companies who are in science industry. So I can have groups in the system and I can invite those employers. I can have employer instructions here. I can even change the event description for employers to see. So when they click on the event, they would see a description that is more focused to them compared to student. I mean, we can have a student facing a description as well. So I just fill this up. And if you see, I gave an employee limit of 500, and for student, I want 1,000 students to come and join this event. And registration would start in January. It would end in just a day before the event starts. I'm inviting all employers. And again, now we have all this student piece as well. I'm going to invite student group, which is this one. So all the current student group. I can even add a registration survey. That means they have to fill a survey before they can register. Or I can have a post-event survey. So as soon as the event gets over, a survey would go out and they can fill that up. And Cynaptx has a very intuitive survey designer. We will not cover that today, but we can show you if you are interested. The next step is payment. So we connect with Stripe. Stripe is a level 1 PCI compliant payment gateway, and that's the partner we use. So you will be requiring a Stripe account. So you can set up a Stripe account and you can connect that account here in the system. So Stripe handles all your payments. So you would be giving your bank details and all the information there. And in here, you just connect that account. And then you can set up booths for employers. Booths is basically different levels, right? I mean, you may have different levels for employers. So let me just fill these up, and you can have payment instructions for your employers as well. So now Stripe is connected, and I just filled this. I'm going to have 3 different types of booths: platinum, gold, and silver. I'm going to have 8 availability for platinum, 15 for gold, 25 for silver. So what's the difference? I mean, of course, the price is different, but you may have different limits. So for platinum, you may say, okay, platinum companies can have 3 group events and maybe 25 one-on-one events. Gold sponsors can have 2 group events and maybe just 15 one-on-one events. Silver sponsor can have just 1 company presentation, 1 group meeting, and maybe 5 or 10 of that. So you could limit that, and you can charge employers based on these tiers. You can add more booths. So when you add a booth, you can give a new booth name, how many booths are available, what is the price, what is the limit of recruiters per booth, maximum number of group meetings allowed, maximum number of one-on-one meetings allowed. So you are setting these parameters based on which employers will be able to interact with your students. You could delete a booth as well if you filled something, but you cannot delete them directly very easily if people have already transacted. So there is a different process for that. So now I'm going to create this event. It will ask for a confirmation so that I'm going to publish this event. And as soon as I publish, invitations will go out to all the attendees, all the employers and all the students that I selected. In this case, everybody. So this is the career fair. So let me just show you a career fair that we have in the system. I'm going to show you that is already set, because this is going to talk about, I can show you some of the events that are scheduled and employers who have registered and sample student that we have in the system. So it's the fall career fair. And if you could see, location is virtual. Event date is October 12th to 16th. And then there is a description. As a staff member, you could see contacts for employers and student. So Dumbledore is the contact for employers and Voldemort is the contact for students. So you could see 11 employers have shown registered so far, 264 students have registered, 34 group meetings have been created, and 195 one-on-one meetings have been created. So quick high-level info there about the career fair. Now let's go and look at booths. So this is what I set up initially. I have already connected my Stripe account. I did create these different booths. I can see and monitor. So I can see out of 8, 2 platinum have already been booked. Out of 15, 4 gold booth have already been booked. And the price is there. I can do more actions as needed. If I want to add a new booth, I can still do that. That way, I'm keeping this all under my control as a staff member. Now, employers. So this page, I mean, there is a help text. So this page will help you invite, manage, and monitor all the employer registrations. So remember, when we were creating the event, we invited a lot of employers. So that invitation went out. Now, this event is already, this is a fall event, that was spring event. So many people have already registered. But when you create a brand new event, career fair, everything will be invited. They get the email and then they could either accept or decline. So if they decline, then it will show that they're not interested. They will not be coming to the career fair. If they're registered, the status will show registered. And for them to finish the registration, they have to pick one of the booth options and make the payment. So all that is tracked and accounted for, and you could monitor all of that in here. You can invite new recruiters as well. So now if you see that maybe the registrations are not up to par, you want to get more engagement, and you did not invite everybody in the first go, you can invite more employers from the system. So, I mean, we have a very intuitive search and filter system, or you could just group them together and send it to one group, and everybody will get that email. Same thing with student. You could see the registration status for all your students that you invited. So people are in invited stage, registered stage. One student has declined, so you may want to talk to that guy and see what's going on. So you can invite more students. Again, very similar to employers. You can even use a template, a custom message, maybe personalized message or it could be a reminder also that, hey, we invited you. You might have missed the first one. Do you want to come and join this event? So you could send those personalized message from the system, and all this gets tracked in the students' notes. We can see that as well if time permits, but all the outgoing emails are tracked in the activity in the student profile. Group meetings. Group meetings is where you can see and manage all the group meetings. So this is the list of, so for example, Hagrid's group meeting is quite popular. 125 students have registered. It's happening at 9 a.m. on 12th October. And then you can see everything in here. So these are the large meetings where companies are doing presentations, info sessions. Students can join them. You can moderate them as well. And you can see all that's happening in that particular session, right? It's a big session. Now, one-on-one. One-on-one is where you can see who's meeting with whom at what time. So 15 minutes is what we have set as a default. I mean, that can be changed if you want. So basically, you could see Hagrid from this organization is meeting this student at this time. And everybody's schedule is in here. So students, I'll show you how students would book the time next, but this is where you as a staff member get visibility to see all of this. And you could take some actions on them. If you feel like something needs to be changed, you can do that, because as a moderator, as an organizer, you have overriding authority on this. But the main interaction is happening between employers and students. Employers are going to make their time slots available. So they're going to say, I'm available between 9 to 5 on the 12th, and maybe 10 to 3 on the 13th. And then students can go and pick time slots on first come, first serve. Again, now if you want to change that as a staff member, you can definitely go in and request for change there. So now let me go into a student view and show you how this experience looks like from a student perspective. Yeah, and I'm seeing a few questions coming up. We'll take them up very shortly. Okay, so this is a student view. So I'm logging in as a student. Excuse me. I've already registered for this event, this career fair, fall career fair. It's live. I could see the details here. I have a calendar over here. I can see some upcoming group meetings. So this is something that is probably going on right now. I can RSVP and get in, or it would show a list of upcoming ones. Again, through AI, we can make sure that the right group meetings are shown to the right students if there is a lot of them that's happening. And that preference can be set. Now, as a student, I want to meet these guys, right? I can also filter here just for my meetings or the whole list. I want to see the employers that are coming to this event. So I can click on this employer section. So this would give me a list of all the employers who have registered and they are attending the career fair. So, I mean, again, I was showing you the organization piece in Cynaptx. So if they click on this, they can go there and see all their details, their company profile, and everything that they have on the employer for students to see. This is a live event by Witchcraft and Wizardry United. And Rubius Hagrid is the recruiter. So as a student, I can go and look at the schedule from this organization. So when I expand this, again, if you see, this is very intuitive. Students do not have to navigate to many places to find what they need to do. They're just looking at employers, they click on one button, just like Google News or any other modern app. They can expand this and they can see group meetings and one-on-one meetings. So group meetings is where this employer is hosting a big meeting where everybody can join. So there is the information session that's happening at 9 a.m. And there is a session on future of business analytics that's happening at 3 p.m. And then this employer, Hagrid has times available for one-on-one meetings. So 10 a.m., 10:15. So these are available time slots. So let's say as a student, I looked at all this. I feel that I'm interested in this organization. So let's go and attend their information session. So I'm gonna click on RSVP. So it will ask for my confirmation that do I really want to RSVP, because this will add this event to my calendar and their calendar as well. And it will add me to their Teams channel where this event is happening. And I'm going to show you that next. So yes, I did this on purpose. I want to attend this event. So I'll do RSVP. Just keep an eye on the calendar. So if I do RSVP, this would go into my calendar. Again, this is Microsoft. So all this goes in right into your Outlook. If you have Outlook on your phone, you will get the email in your Outlook and the calendar will show this event. And then if you have Teams installed on your phone or desktop, you could just, with one tab, you don't even need to log into the system. The event is already there. You could just launch it right from there. I'm going to do the same thing with the time slot, one-on-one time slot. So let's pick, I want to meet this guy at 10 a.m. I want to talk to this recruiter and talk about their organization. Maybe, give them my resume and have a good conversation. So I want to schedule this one-on-one, and this would also go to my calendar. So if you see, I'm already ticked for this, and this is a live event. It's going on right now. So I'll show you how we go there and we can launch it. So I've already selected this. I'll go to, again, group meetings is the list of all the meetings going on. I can go and again, register for them as needed. But I scheduled these two meetings, right? I mean, I scheduled the information session, I scheduled the one-on-one. I could click and launch that meeting. So let me go ahead and join the information session. So again, this will ask me to open Teams, but since I'm logged in with my company Teams, I'm going to use the web app instead. So here is that Teams channel for that group meeting, the information session that's being conducted by this organization. If you see, this is under this Hogwarts Fall Career Fair group, and this channel is where this interaction is happening. The company has given more details here. So if you see, I could look, I can check more details from the company. And this can come right from the Cynaptx system, from the company profile. We could even have jobs that are relevant for this career fair show here. And students can see those jobs. That way employers are already setting the context. They are already telling about their company. They're already sharing the jobs they have opened. So students can go and browse and interact with them. In fact, there is an apply button. If I just want to go ahead and apply, I can click on this. I would see the job in the system. So it's an external job, which will take me to an external page. I can just go ahead and apply directly. I can interact with teams. That's the beauty of this solution. And I was talking about the extension feature. So there could be wiki, there could be files, there could be things that companies can do in Teams and share with all the people who registered to this information session. They could share files, they could share real-time files, right? Files that are on OneDrive, they could share them and have real-time collaboration with their all the students who came to the event. And there's a lot many things we can do. And I mean, as we develop this, we'll also look for ideas from professionals like yourself. As we have more customers, we'll keep improving this experience on Teams. But all this is in Teams. So if I go to Outlook for the student and I look for the calendar, I can go to the month of October. I could see all these events right there. Events that came in that I registered for. So if I have Outlook calendar installed on my phone, I could just launch my Teams session from there. So there is a Teams join action. The same thing is on Teams. There is a calendar here. As a student, I can see, let me go to October. I could see my event. This is the event that I have registered for right now. And then I have also registered for other events in the past, in previous run that I was doing. So all that will show up in the Teams meeting and you would go in. Student can do the same thing with OneonOne. So if I do a OneonOne, I can launch OneonOne. I'll do it in web app. So this would create a one-on-one meeting and the recruiter will accept me in. I come in and then have that conversation with that recruiter, a personalized conversation. It could be a video conversation, chat conversation, screen share. Maybe if it's a coding interview, I could even have online coding test here. A lot of things can happen. I mean, it's endless possibilities with Microsoft Teams. So, I mean, we have less than 15 minutes remaining. I mean, on the employer side, employers can set up their slots. I mean, it's the same thing where they are setting up their availability that students can book for. But let me go ahead and get back and recap this, and then we can take all the questions that have come in because there are many. So what do you achieve using this solution? So employers, you get empowered employers. So they do self-service. You don't have to guide them. I mean, this is a self-driven system. You will have registration service. So they have to fill, if you want, they can fill certain information. They can update their profile. They can also post a job before they attend this event. They can set up one-on-one slots. They can create and manage group meetings. And they can also look into student profile, their resume. If they are interested, invite them to apply for one of their open positions. As a student can do registration. They can browse employers and see what, their details before they meet them. They can register for group meetings, one-on-one meetings. They can use Teams and Outlook calendar, and then actions and follow-ups. So there's many ways to do it. You can do from Cynaptx. You can do through Microsoft tools like tasks and to-do lists. You could also, so all this helps in optimized operations. So you can manage, monitor invitations, registrations, making sure there's enough engagement there. People are signing up for the event. It's popular. You can manage payment. You can set up booths. You can see and monitor booth signups. You can moderate the meetings that's going on. You can administer the time slots that are there. And then at the end, you can transform the outcome of your career fair. So look at the attendance, how many people attended, or what did they do, what were the action items from this, and any results. So you could report on all of that, send post-event surveys, collect some feedback, and use all that information to improve your next career fair. So with that, this is pretty engaging system, and we are seeing a lot of questions. So let me just go ahead and start taking questions. So Vipin, if you could help me out there, let's take it one by one.
Sure. Okay, do students have to sign up in advance for group or one-on-one sessions?
So they don't have to sign up by default. I mean, if there is vacancy and if they are a live event which is allowed for walk-ins, they could just walk in. That's why on this landing page, we were showing that upcoming events, they could just click on that. And if it is an open event, they could just immediately log in. So the goal is to remove any hurdles. But if you want some approvals in place, it can be done, again, very customizable system. Okay, I'll read the questions, Vipin. So assuming this meets FERPA requirements, yes, it does. Microsoft is 100% FERPA compliant. I mean, probably your institution is already running on a lot of Microsoft tools. So all that is taken care of. And this solution we have built is on Microsoft itself. So all that is taken care of. We have a separate system. Is it possible for this system to interact? Of course. This is a API-based microservices powered cloud solution. So it can connect to any other system. I hope that system has API connections. So that's the preferred route that we can use to connect and bring their profiles in the system in advance, both for employers and students. Okay, next question is, can you add multiple groups? Of course, I mean, unlimited number of groups. So we have many schools creating groups by advisors or by region or by degree programs, majors. So you could have different groups, and based on what fair you are running, you could invite by groups or everybody. Next question is this added product to Teams? Yes, this is. So we are working with Microsoft on this. And this is going to be on Microsoft Store. This will be, I mean, people can get it from the Microsoft marketplace directly. Can a student search employers by industry, job type? Yes. And this is part of our core career services system. You can search employers, a big database of employers by industry and job type. Is this product available now? Our institution has a Teams license, but now not sure how this could be added. So this is in development, but we are going to launch this very soon. So I'm going to talk about the next steps. So stay tuned. I'll answer that question shortly. I'm curious as to how is the lack of human interaction addressed. Okay. The recruiter doesn't have an opportunity to experience job seekers' energy and gauge their personality. So it's a very interesting problem. And this is something that, I mean, nobody can completely replace the in-person experience. I mean, that is something that cannot happen. But what can be done by technology is come as close to that as possible. And Teams helps you do that, because with video chat and high quality video chat, even if the bandwidth is less, right? I mean, Microsoft Teams work perfectly fine for students. I mean, they may not have good cell phones or laptops. I mean, they may not have good internet, or they may not even have a good connection. So they can, Microsoft Teams is supported for that. It helps, it's optimized for the last mile usage. So, I mean, it will help remove a lot of those issues. How is the initial training for students and employers handled? So we are hoping a lot of this would not be required because of Microsoft Teams. A lot of training would be on the staff side, on creation of event. So if you already have experience creating career fairs in the past, then it's very simple. I mean, this is even better because we have removed a lot of complexities. It's very easy. As you saw, the navigation is very easy to set up a virtual career fair. But as a student, again, you could just browse. It's one page. You just click on the tabs. You go look at employers. You select session, and that's it. It goes directly in your Teams, and your email, and you can then join at that day. You don't have to be logged in and sitting in front of the system logging in here. But we will have detailed training. So we'll make sure you are comfortable. We have good training programs, training guides, all that is there. Can students drop in on the day off to meet with employers, or they're required to schedule appointments prior to? Yeah, they can drop in. So provided it's allowed, it's not stopped. So it's allowed by default in the product. But if you want to stop that, you can, or employers want to stop that, they can, but they can drop in. And we feel that this is gonna be a big win by removing all the hurdles. What was the connection? API, yes, API is the connection. Application programming interface, REST API is the preferred means to connect to any external system. And most of the modern products have API. If you have open meetings to allow students to drop in, can they come and go from group meetings? Yes, they can come and go from group meetings. They are not bound to be there. And the good thing is you get to see a report. All of this, who attended at what time, duration, their engagement, all that data is captured. It could also be recorded. So the host or the moderator can record this, and you could have this for a future reference in your career resource. So Cynaptx has a career resource section. So you could put it there for a future career fair as well. So that students can review that session recording before they join the next career fair with the same employer. I'm assuming multiple colleges could partner to co-host mega virtual fairs. Yeah, I mean, it is possible, but we need to understand a bit more as in what kind of collaboration that means. But if you could see, there's no difference. I mean, there's a bunch of organizers and then designated point of contacts for employees and students. And you could invite people who are in the system. So you may just have to pool your recruiters and students in here, and then you could do a mega virtual career fair. So that's totally possible. Okay, next question is, can this solution integrate with the current career services management system? Yes, it can, provided you and that system gives us the permission. All we need is access to their APIs and their and the data. I mean, it's your data, so they should allow. So we can pull it in, and it can be interactive. Can be made interactive very easily. So every 6 hours or once a day, we could have all the data, student data, the resume coming in from that system to here. And this is the same with all CSM system. If our school requires a different way for employers to pay, can that be adjusted? We will not be allowed to use Stripe. So it is adjusted. We are going to have a manual process as well. So instead of Stripe, you could manually mark them as paid or not paid. That way you could collect payments in any other system. At the moment, we just really supporting Stripe, but slowly as we see more people using different gateways, we'll be adding supports for other like authorize.net. There are many. So we have worked with a few in the past, like authorize.net. We could use that as well. So this will keep on growing. So what else? Vipin, do we have any more questions there?
Yeah, if you're not allowed to make your system interactive with the student data, can students create their own profiles prior to the fair?
Yeah, students can create their profile. I mean, there is basically all you need to do is give their email address, and invitation goes out to them. They can log in, set up their password, log in. At that point, they have an empty profile. They can go and fill it up. So their education history, experience, certifications, they can put their picture, they can have a video resume, they can upload a Word file or a PDF file, and then put that on their web-facing profile, and then employers can see that.
There is a question on the cost.
On the cost. So, okay, let me go to that now. I think that's a good segue. So let me talk about the next steps. So this is a brand new solution. So we encourage all of you to be an early adopter. This comes to you for no cost for fall 2020. If you sign up for our pilot, so we will be getting in touch with you and explaining this a bit more. But we are running a pilot program for the whole of fall. So there isn't any charge for that. You could sign up and start using it, start experiencing the system, and you could conduct uh, sessions there. Maybe start with small career fairs and then scale up. And then what we ask in return is to give us feedback, help us improve the platform. And if you like it, go ahead and use this. We would love to have you as full-time customers. And we would also like to talk to you and understand a bit more about your process and needs, because as you could see, this is brand new, and we would love to hear more. If there's anything, we don't want you to, I mean, if there's anything that we are not doing or we should be doing, we would love to hear that. So tell us about your vision for the perfect virtual career fair solution, and we'll make sure, I mean, if that makes sense for the whole industry, we'll make sure that we bring that in the system. Again, this pilot is first come, first serve. So we will be having a set of schools that we will onboard for the next, like the fall 2020. So please, when we reach out, please have that discussion with us, and we would love to have all of you who joined this webinar to come on board. Okay, so there is a question that we are pressured to make decisions on platform we will use for the fall very soon. We would be interested in being part of the pilot, but time is not in our side, on our side. Yeah, sure. So let's have a conversation. We would like to understand your timeline and what are you planning to achieve in the fall. So we want to enable you. I mean, a lot of fall fairs start in September, October timeframe. So we want to be sure it's something that works for you. If you see the technology part, a lot of this is covered by Teams. So you don't have to worry a lot about that. But we want to make sure that we do this to make you successful. So let's have that conversation. We'll reach out and we'll make sure that this works for you. Okay, so with that, I guess we are up against the hour. So I would like to thank all of you for joining this webinar and listening to us. It was great presenting this, and we'll be in touch with you. And feel free to ask any questions, and we would love to have you onboarded on this platform. Thank you very much, and have a safe and